Good evening, everyone. Today is the 12th of May, and here are some of the major headlines from the US markets. Get ready for some early action this morning as the Consumer Price Index for April is published at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. The figure is expected to be the hottest in nearly a decade, rising 3.6% year on year, though economists have cautioned that the jump could appear larger due to the base effects of 2020 when prices were weak amid pandemic shutdowns. The Fed has also maintained that the pickup in inflation will be transitory, but traders in the financial markets don't appear to be so sure. The anticipated 3.6% jump in the headline number of April would be the largest since September 2011, following a 2.6% year on year print last month, which already was above the Fed's inflation target. On a core basis, excluding the food and energy, the CPI is expected to have increased by 0.3% or 2.3% year on year. Investors have already seen widespread price increases on commodities like copper and lumber, while the bond market's forecast for inflation over the next decade has risen substantially. That's helped the trigger swings in the stock market, sending the core volatility index on Tuesday to its highest level since March. Meanwhile, executives' usage of the word inflation has increased 800% in quarter one earnings calls, according to Bank of America, while last week's big job report miss is being viewed as a sign that companies will have to raise wages to lure more unemployed people into the workforce. Volatility is still reigning high in the markets, with Wall Street's best fear gauge known as the VIX hitting levels yesterday that haven't been seen in the last 2 months. The index traded as high as 23.73 intraday as concerns about inflation spread to other areas of the market, with Dow losing 473 points to the end of the day. The Nasdaq meanwhile rebounded from earlier losses of 2%, but the buy on dip crowd couldn't push the index into the green before the close. Things aren't looking good this morning. Stock index futures are off by about 0.4% ahead of the inflation report that could shake markets once again. Fears about a sustained jump in inflation have particularly weighed on growth stocks, including those in the tech sectors that were popular during the pandemic. Cyclical shares have meanwhile climbed on expectations of full economic reopening, but those gains could also be challenged in the new price environment. If the latest price rise is mostly commodity driven, the future will largely depend on how those inputs keep rising. Operators of the Colonial Pipeline will know by the late Wednesday whether it's safe to restart flows of fuel during a crippling cyber attack last week that shuttered the 5,500-mile conduct. Even when the pipeline is restored to full service, it will take about 2 weeks for gasoline stored in Houston to reach East Coast filling stations, while heavier diesel and jet fuel will take even longer, about 19 days. The national average of retail gasoline prices have already risen above the politically sensitive level of $3 a gallon for the first time in 6 years, adding to broader inflationary pressures. More than 1,000 gas stations in the southeast have reportedly run out of fuel, while premium for wholesale gasoline in New York area reached its widest in 3 months. Crude processors are also being forced to reduce run rates while refineries are booking ships to store growing fuel stockpiles. Corporations are trying to figure out what to do given the situation. Southwest Airlines has begun flying supplies to Nashville, Tennessee, and other cities, while United Airlines loaded extra fuel to flights to preserve local supplies in places like South Carolina. Shares of retailers like Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, and Target also traded lower yesterday as investors showed some anxiety over the future of gas prices and stimulus drying up. As it looks to deepen its presence in the electronic car market, Renault is considering introducing battery swapping capabilities, which would significantly cut waiting times at charging stations. It's not decided, but I see it as an interesting opportunity, said CEO Luca Di Meo to the Financial Times. We need to find a pragmatic solution, but from a business point of view, there's a point separating the battery from the car. The French automaker is part of Renault Nissan Mitsubishi Alliance, which is one of the biggest car manufacturers in the world and a leader in the electronic vehicles. Tesla also began conducting its own battery swapping trials in 2013, but it dropped the project a few years later as consumers increasingly expressed interest in its supercharger network. While the process seems simple, making a battery out of swapping is a bit complicated. Batteries are the single most expensive component in any EV, but they are still in a rapid stage of development and manufacturers have been reluctant to standardize anything. In fact, at Tesla's Battery Day event last September, the EV maker said its plan to integrate batteries into structural elements of future cars, comparing them to the fuel tanks located within the wing of an airplane. Enter NIO. The Chinese EV maker just recorded a milestone of 2 million battery swaps to date and plans to double its Chinese network to more than 500 stations in 2021. Each battery swap takes only a few minutes and it comes with a full charge compared to the 35 minutes it takes a supercharger to load the Tesla battery from 10% to 18%, which is even lower at home. Besides quicker turnaround times, battery swapping technology also allows EV makers to decouple the cost of batteries from their vehicles, meaning drivers aren't worried about depreciating battery capacity or the value of their cars. Few other headlines on companies. Bumble hopes to get its buzz back in today's earnings report. Xiaomi rallies after removal from the US government's blacklist. Apple chose not to disclose breach that infected the 128 million iPhones. Planter allows Bitcoin payment, could invest in cryptocurrency. Should Tesla accept Dogecoin? Musk wants to know. L Brands announced plans to spin off Victoria's Secret. Big reversal of Plug Power as analysts keep faith. States won't receive Johnson & Johnson vaccine deliveries next week. Politico. Cathie Wood's ARKK sheds a third of its Apple holdings. Some of the Tuesday's key earnings reports. Electronic Arts up by 1.8% after hours on booking beat, upside guidance. Macerich down by 0.4%, hit by retroactive breaks in rent. Planted up by 9.4%, posting Q1 revenue beat, upside sales guidance. Quantum Space down by 2.9% after hour, boosting capex spending outlook. Today's world market updates are as follows. In Asia, Japan down by 1.6%, Hong Kong up by 0.8%, China up by 0.6% and India down by 1%. In Europe at midday, London up by 0.8%, Paris up by 0.1%, Frankfurt up by 0.3%. In the futures market, Dow down by 0.3%, S&P down by 0.4% and Nasdaq down by 0.6%. Crude up by 0.6% to $65.70. Gold down by 0.1% at $1,834.80. Bitcoin up by 0.6% to $56,459. 10-year Treasury yield flat at 1.61%. Today's economic calendar include at 7 a.m. MBA mortgage applications, at 8:30 Consumer Price Index report, at 9 Fled's Clarida's US economic outlook and monetary policy, at 10:30 EIA petroleum inventories, at 10:45 Atlanta Fed's business inflation expectations, at 1 p.m. result of $41 billion 10-year note auction, at 1 p.m. Fed's Bostic US economic outlook and monetary policy, at 1:30 p.m. Fed's Harker speech, and at 2 p.m. Treasury statement. Sign up for a zero-fee account and Compound to start globally investing. It can help you diversify, hedge, and truly build a global portfolio which give you better returns in the longer run as winners keep rotating. Compound has an easy onboarding, no account minimums, and you get to invest in fractional stocks. Investors get to choose from about more than 3,500 stocks, worldwide ETFs, and global companies. Join the Telegram channel of Compound to get daily US and global market updates. All the links in the description below. Thank you.